Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the first chapter of English literature, that is a witty answer. Let's know something about the story before we start the chapter. This is a story by one of the most famous writers of olden times. In those days, specially trained hawks were used in hunting. Let's go through the story now. Once there was a nobleman whose name was Corrado. He was a brave and a worthy citizen. He was very interested in birds like horns and hawks. One day, he caught a fat young crane and sent it home to his cook with orders to prepare it for supper. The cook, who was a poor and simple fellow, trussed the bird and set it over the fire to roast. When it was nearly done, a friend of the cook happened to come into the kitchen, and, being attracted by the good smell, he begged for the leg of the crane. The cook denied because it was for his master. But the friend became angry, and he said that he would not help the cook if he required any in the future. At once a quarrel arose and was carried to a great height between them. At length, for the sake of peace, the cook was obliged to carve a leg from the crane and give it to his friend. So, the bird was served up at supper with only one leg. Now, Corrado, who had a friend at supper with him, at once sent for the cook and asked angrily, what had become of the other leg of the crane? The cook replied, after a moment's thought, a crane has only one leg, sir. Corrado got angry on hearing this. Do you think I have never seen crane in my life? Said Corrado. Believe me, sir, it is as I say, and I will prove it to you whenever you want from a living crane, said the cook. Now, Corrado, who had a friend with him, did not want to discuss much on this matter, so he agreed to the cook's offer to prove it, and he said that he wanted the proof the next morning. He also said that he would punish the cook if it was wrong. The matter ended that night, but Corrado, who was angry, could not sleep the whole night. So he woke up early the next morning and called up for his horse. He also took the cook along with him to the riverside, where he had often seen many cranes at that hour of the day. We shall soon see, he said to the cook, how much truth was in your words spoken last night. The cook was now fairly at his wits' end. He could have escaped easily, but now it seemed difficult for him to escape. All of a sudden, as they came in the sight of the river, he happened to see before anyone else a number of cranes, each standing on one leg, as they usually do when they are sleeping. Cook was relieved to see this. He pointed them out to Corrado, saying, Sir, see that I spoke nothing but the truth when I said cranes have only one leg. Corrado looked at the birds and replied, Yes, true, but I will show you different. Then riding up to the birds, he cried out, Shoo, shoo. At once, each crane set down the other foot, and after taking a step or two, they all flew away. Corrado now turned to the cook and said angrily, Do you believe that cranes have two legs now? What can you say to save yourself from the thrashing that I promised you? Only this, sir, replied the cook, making an effort. Had you called but shoo shoo to that crane last night, it might have put down the other leg too, as these birds did now, and you might have been saved all this journey. Corrado laughed at this. Well said, fellow, he said. Your intelligence has saved your skin. Let us now go home. Thus, the cook escaped a beating and made a good relation with his master. So, students, this was the story. Let's come to the word meanings now. Gallant means brave. Supper means dinner. Quarrel means fight. Wrath means anger. Content means satisfied. Thrash means beat. So this was the story and the word meanings. There is the other video followed by this video where I have given some exercises on this chapter. I would ask you to go through that video as well, and also keep listening to this video so that you understand the story better. Thank you.